Shetsis, tell me, did you know that I was a doctor? I'm not. My brother is a doctor. So I thought it would be nice to talk about disease when I'm visiting my brother. Good, so ha 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 ha. The fun is not even over. We're gonna talk about disease first through this little play. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm really not good, you know, I'm sick, I have a fever. Oh, how horrible for you. I hope it's gone very soon. Yeah, I'm really feeling miserable. It's, you know, I wanted to do so many things and now I cannot do those things. Yeah, that sounds really horrible. You know, maybe you go to the doctor and he might have some medicine and he will cure you. Okay, thank you. I will. That's a typical conversation that we have on disease. Like, it comes to us, we don't want it, you know, it's in the category of unwanted stuff, it's the negative stuff in life. So basically when we get it, the whole message is how to get rid of it as soon as possible, and as painful as possible, and as easy as possible. And like the bad thing is, like, yeah, the disease itself, you know, can be a cold, can be a cancer, can be horrible. I'm not denying this, by the way, that it can be horrible. Just, you know, our reaction, like we cannot do our normal stuff, we have to get rid of it as soon as possible, isn't really honoring the disease. So why would you honor a disease? Why would you honor negativity? Well, that, you know, depends on the perspective that you have. So I'd say the disease isn't there just for nothing, for annoying you, for just giving you a bad time out of the blue, out of nothing. I think we create our own life, like everything, by the way we think. And if this thinking is somehow unhealthy or not aligned with let's call it the divine purpose of our life, then life will answer by providing a disease. And the first thing you could do when you get a disease is asking yourself, why do I actually get this disease? So then all of a sudden disease becomes your own creation. Well, your own creation, yeah. But let's make it a bit milder, like it's a cooperation between nature or universe or however you want to call it, and yourself. I wouldn't say there's a lot of difference, but just, you know, I'm explaining the perspective. And so then the difficulty is that people all of a sudden are responsible for their own disease, and that is not a nice thing for people to acknowledge. And so if you say about this psychosomatic aspect of life, you know, if you talk about this, then often people have resistance. Like my mom, she would say, like, wow, you know, but, you know, did I do it myself? You know, am I guilty of my own disease? Am I guilty of my own situation? The thing is, it's not about guilt. It's about, you know, it's a perspective. It's a perspective. So if you have the perspective like, okay, it came over me, I can't help it, you know, it's not nice, and get out of my life, then somehow you are powerless, like it's all something that happened to you. And if you take it as an invitation to, well, we will talk about that later, then you are on the move, you know, it's your turn. The universe gave the first move, you are to answer. To answer what? So what could a disease mean? Well, generally, as I said, you're not aligned with the purpose of your life, you know, the life, how it is designed, even though we don't really know it, but we could find out through having a disease. For example, like, actually it's quite simple. I had a few things in my life. Basically, it's all about my moving system. Like, I had to go to the physio quite a few times. Why? Because, you know, my shoulder was completely blocked, like really full of pain, or my knee, or, you know, stuff like that. So the shoulder is very easy. I am too much working at the computer, and it's not even that I'm working at the computer a lot, it's the way I'm working at the computer. Like, I have a tendency to really completely be absorbed by the screen, and just keep on going, not taking breaks, not having a cup of tea, just, you know, being a perfectionist, being, you know, proving that I'm good, you know, that I'm a good person, you know, working, all of this stuff that actually is, you know, chatter in the mind that we inherited from society, from parents, you know, from this whole riddle of we have to prove that we are worthy. So, and since this is not aligned with let's say, the universal truth, you know, we are all good the way we are, a disease could help taking it easy, slowing down, reinventing our life. So that could be, again, a small disease, and the big ones, you know, the real deathly, the ones that you might die from, like the real serious, they're extreme invitations to do so. Like, it's not just like take a break and then it's over. Like, they really ask for a very deep reconsideration of life, of the way you're living life. And in that sense, it's a blessing. It's something that you couldn't achieve for yourself, that you couldn't achieve, you know, with the people around you. They wouldn't. Most people don't understand disease in this way, so you cannot expect a lot of support from the outside world. Even in the spiritual world, like a disease, like, you need to be healed, and you know, they very much are focused on the healing, on the ways how you can get healed, which isn't very different of the very many ways, you know, that my doctor, you know, my brother has to offer. Like, it's going to the solution too soon and expecting, you know, the solution from the solution, but the solution is rather, you know, happening in here. So that's the most important thing that I wanted to say about disease. I'm not against medicine. I'm not against the regular world. I'm not against the regular medical world. I'm not against my brother. I'm not, you know, if my friend who gave me a very strong energy session a month ago, 2 months ago almost, she had she had cancer, and she took it very well. She went to a very intense purification, and so she wrote a book about this process, and she's a very good example of someone who took the message of the disease, and now she's living a completely different life than before. Like, she used to be this extreme workaholic and proving herself and all of that. Now she's living from the heart. Now she's having fun. Now she's a very cheerful woman, you know, not thinking that life has to be proven, you know, and that she isn't worthy living her life. Like, she's this wonderful woman, and she took chemotherapy to cure the cancer, you know, from the medical perspective, meaning that, you know, the normal medical world is doing a good job, because otherwise she would have died. Like she wouldn't have survived without the chemotherapy. And now she did survive, and she wrote this beautiful book, and she's a living example of how disease can make you to live your life to a higher level, to a higher vibration. So I think this is already quite a bit what I said. Hope you can welcome anything that comes across your path, whether that is a flu, a cold, or something really serious, and to not want to first push it away, but first to listen, what can the message be. Thank you for listening to me from this place. I talk to you soon. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm feeling not so good. I have a flu. Good. Well, have some time off, try to enjoy, and try not to take medicine. When your body is dealing with a disease, it's a good training for your immune system. Okay, I'll try.